Morning, guys. Morning, morning. Hi, guys. Morning. Feel like I haven't seen you guys for ages. Morning, morning, everyone. Come on in. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. A gorgeous sunny morning. Hi, guys. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. So we're going to get going in a minute or so. And so today we're going to be doing a sort of a deep core session to begin with. And then just a little bit of a full body stretch to finish off. So nothing too hardcore this morning. I know you guys have all been working really hard. So hopefully you need something a little bit more relaxing. Hi, guys. Morning, Evie. Hi, Becca. Hi, Chelsea. Hi, guys. Okay, so let's get going. What's the time? Yeah, it's time to get going. Okay, so come and lie down on your mats. I hope you can see me. Yes. Okay, guys. So today we're just going to go through a reminder of our core, okay? So I'm going to just go through a quick anatomy again, just to remind you, okay? So your core, you have 4 layers of your core. So you have your lumbar spine, your lower back, and then wrapping around your lumbar spine, you have this sort of muscle that wraps around you, okay? It's called your transversus abdominis, your TVA. And then on top of that, you have your internal oblique, then your external oblique, and then you've got your rectus abdominis, your 6-pack in front of us, okay? Now, we are trying to activate the deep core muscles to begin with, so your TVA. And a really good way of doing that is by breathing out deeply. So just come and sit on your mat with your feet out in front of you, feet to hip distance, knees to hip distance, okay? And just relax your head and shoulders over your knees. So what I want you to do is I want you to breathe into the back and sides of your rib cage. When you breathe out, I want you to breathe out deeply, okay? It's a forceful exhale through your mouth as though you are blowing up a balloon, okay? So it's a deep... And when you blow out like that, you should start to feel your TVA start to activate, okay? So think about that deep exhale and that squeezing in. You should feel like you're kind of trying to get into a tight pair of trousers. It's that squeezing of the belly in. It's not a tense, it's a pulling of the belly in and wrapping around, okay? So that's your TVA. Also think of a little bit of a sort of pull in of the belly button in towards your lumbar spine, okay? So when you're exhaling, the other thing that is attached to your TVA is your pelvic floor muscle. So you're going to pull the tip of the diamond up when you breathe out, okay? So inhale. As you exhale deeply, you're going to breathe out and then you're going to pull the tip of the diamond in and up away from the floor. And then inhale, I want you to completely let go of that pelvic floor. So really important to be able to completely let go of the pelvic floor and to completely tense it up, okay? So inhale, let go of that pelvic floor. Exhale, breathe out deeply, squeeze the TVA and pull the tip of the pelvic floor up, up, up. And then inhale, let everything release. And again, exhale, breathe out deeply, tighten TVA, zip up pelvic floor, squeeze everything in and up, feeling the core start to wake up. And then inhale, completely let go. One more time. Exhale, breathe out deeply. Squeeze into those tight pairs of trousers. Pull the tip of the pelvic floor right in and up. Hold it, squeeze it, and then let go. Okay, so be mindful of those things when we are doing the rest of the class, okay? So come and lie on your back. So feet to hip distance, knees to hip distance. And at the moment you've got a little arch underneath your lower back, your neutral spine. Now we're going to try and strengthen our neutral spine to begin with. So some of you might have quite a deep lordotic curve than others.
depending on your anatomy. But essentially, your pelvis, your pubic bone, should be on the same horizontal plane as your hip bones, okay? So you should be able to put a cup of tea on your pelvis and it should stay there. You don't want it to tip on top of your face. Now, holding on, just have a little index finger on your hip bones. Core nice and tight, so think about squeezing into those tight pair of trousers, pulling the pelvic floor up, and then try and lift your right leg up into tabletop without letting your hips move at all. And then inhale, lower your right leg back down to the floor. So keeping your pelvis super still, slowly lift the left leg. You've got to really think about that TVA being super tight. Inhale, slowly lower. And again, TVA, pelvic floor, lift the right leg, don't let those hips move. And you still, in neutral, you have that little curve underneath your lumbar spine. Try and maintain it. We're not going into imprint yet because our feet are on the floor. We can strengthen our neutral spine with our feet on the floor. Good. One more time on either side. Just being really mindful of the hips. So it's super slow. You don't want to rush this. Good. And then slowly lower that foot back down to the floor. Now we're going to go from neutral into imprint, okay? So put your thumb on the bottom of your rib cage and your index finger on your hip bones, your ASIS bones, okay? So take an inhale. As you exhale, I want you to shorten the space between your thumb and your finger. Tilt your pelvis underneath you, okay? So if you look at my thumb and finger, I've shortened the space. So I'm not here, I'm there. My pubic bone has come higher and my lower back is now flat on the floor. Inhale, release, lengthen the space between thumb and finger. And again, exhale, tilt the pelvis, close the ribs down towards the hips. Inhale, release. So keep going with that rock and the roll from the neutral to imprint. Just getting movement into your lumbar spine, using your core strength. Try not to squeeze your bum at this point. Try and let it be an core, internal core exercise only, okay? So it's the shortening of the space between the thumb and index finger that's key. Good. 3 more, guys. So lengthening that lumbar spine, feeling the core start to activate, pulling the belly button down towards the spine. When you inhale into neutral, let go of the pelvic floor and let go of that TVA. And again, exhale. Go into that imprint position, squeeze and tighten everything. Inhale, release it back into neutral. Now, last one, you're going to go into imprint, hold imprint. So shortening the space between thumb and finger, tilting the pelvis. Have a look at the cup of tea. The cup of tea is now pouring on your face because your pelvis is tilting underneath you and your pubic bone is higher than your hip bones. Now, lower back is on the floor. Try and maintain that. Lift the right leg to tabletop, then lift the left leg to tabletop. Squeeze the legs together, bring the hands down onto the floor, compress the belly down, just holding imprint here. And have a play. If you're finding this super hard to keep the lower back onto the floor and you're very lordotic, you may need to bring your knees a little bit closer towards your face. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, maybe push the knees a little bit further away from your face. Try and relax the shoulders, you're just isolating your core. So pull the tummy in, squeeze, keep that tailbone tilting. Don't let that lower back come off the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lift the head and shoulders up to the tip of the shoulder blades. So now you're crunching up even more the ribs down towards the hips. Reaching the fingertips towards your heels and then pulling that tummy in even more. Again, try not to bring the knees too close to your face. Think about them being above your hips. Good. Breathing in here. Keep opening up through the chest. So try not to roll through the shoulders. Keep the shoulders down and open. Good. Breathing in. Now, if you're feeling strong, maybe start to extend your right leg onto the diagonal. Breathing in. The lower the leg, the harder it is to maintain imprint spine. So you may want to lift your leg a little bit higher. Breathing in here. Breathing out, keeping that core. If you need to reset, go back down, hug the knees into your chest and reset. Now bend the right knee, extend the left leg. Really extend it. Point those toes and pull the kneecap up the thigh so that the leg is active too. Breathing in, pulling the tummy in And then slowly bringing both knees back to center. Let's try both legs together. Now again, the lower the legs, the harder it is. So really play with it. If that's too hard, lift the legs higher. Breathing in, guys. Hold it for 10, 9, scoot. That lower back is still flat on the floor. If it's coming off the floor, you need to lift the legs higher. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly give yourself a little squeeze with the knees, hug them in tight, and just massage your lower back down onto the floor. Good. So if you lift your legs off the floor and you go into neutral spine, you can feel your lower back really arching and taking a lot of the load. So that's why when we start to lift our legs off the floor, we go into imprint position. Really important to maintain that. Okay, so we're going to go into imprint. We're going to make it a little bit harder now. So go into imprint, lift your right leg to tabletop, then your left leg to tabletop. Compress that belly down towards the spine. Bring the fingertips just outside or behind the head, but try not to pull the head up using your hands. Your hands are there just to support your head, okay? So inhale to prepare. Exhale, you're going to lift up to the tip of the shoulder blades, and you're kind of diagonally reaching up above the knees. Pulling that tummy in. Inhale, can't speak. Keep that imprint spine as you lower the head and shoulders. Don't let that lower back come off the floor. Exhale, reaching up, squeezing belly in towards your spine. Inhale to lower. Exhale to reach up and hold. Pull it in, pull it in. Inhale to lower. Keep going, guys. You've got this. So you're just flexing up. Inhale to lower. If it's too much, you can always bring your feet back down onto the floor. But when your feet are on the floor, you can do these crunches in neutral spine. Okay, so you can maintain that little neutral curve. But this is a little bit harder. So 10 more. And every time you reach up, I don't want you to rush this. I want you to hold it at the top for at least a couple of seconds. Good. 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Hold it. Extend the left leg. Now you're going to rotate towards your right knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate towards your left knee. Now what I want you to think about is look at your pelvis. Your pelvis should not move when you're doing these bicycles, okay? Your pelvis is still. Your torso is just rotating. So if you look at your hips, extend the left leg. When you twist, your pelvis doesn't move. Yeah, you're just twisting through your obliques. So it's the left hip to right rib. Inhale, center, exhale. So it's not knee to elbow like this. I don't want to see that, okay? It's just going to go into your lower back, and there's no core stabilization there whatsoever. So you need to really think about controlling. Stabilize. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Extend. Pelvis is still. You're just getting obliques rotation, okay? Breathing in. Good. Keeping those elbows wide so you're crunching up towards the knee. The knee isn't crunching up to you. 5 more. And release. 4 more. And release. 3. And release. 2. Can you see how slow we're going? We need to control this. And then release. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe pull the knees slightly out to the side, get into the groin a little bit, and add some rotation into the ankles. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice, guys. Well done. Okay, I hope you're all still with me. So part of the core strength is that stabilization, okay? Being able to stabilize. And your pelvis is so important, okay? So when you're doing those bicycles, try not to just go too fast and just rep it out. Think about really keeping everything still and controlled and using the right muscles, okay? You're not trying to just get into the six packs, the abs. We're trying to get a little bit deeper here. We're trying to get into the internal and external obliques. Okay, so come back with your feet are on the floor now. Okay, so with your hands, reach the hands with the palms turned up, up and down towards your hips, either side of your hips, that's better. Okay, now because our feet are on the floor, we're in neutral spine, so you've got a little curve, and think about your TVA and your pelvic floor. Good, so you're going to use those obliques again. You're going to open your feet as wide as the mat now, and you're going to just squeeze your left rib and hip together, and you're going to squeeze a lateral flexion, your left hand towards your left ankle. Try not to go up and go into a crunch. It's just a lateral crunch. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze the right rib and hip together, and try and get that right hip. Yeah? Right heel, not hip, heel. Good. Over to the left. Over to the right. So you can feel one oblique working, then the other. But we're trying to maintain neutral spine. So you're trying to not let your lower back go jam into the floor. Keep going, side to side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pelvic floor always drawing up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release head and shoulders. Good. Have a little squeeze. Good. Just have a moment here. Bring your hands out to the side. Bend the knees. Now, easier option is with the knees closer to your chest. Harder option is with the knees over the hips. Now, the legs are on the floor, an imprinted spine, so compress that lower belly, lower back on the floor. Now, we're just going to move through those obliques again. So just letting those hips and knees go over to the right, the left hip is coming off the floor. Now, pull the tummy in and bring the knees back to center. Good. Exhale, we're going to bring the left knees over to the left. So the knees over to the left. I can't talk today, guys. I'm sorry. Inhale, back to center. Good. Exhale, knees over to the right. So just getting a good rotation. Your head and shoulders stay where they are. You can use your hands as brakes, but try not to use them too much. Try and think about that core being a little bit more active and working. Good. Last 2. One more. Breathe out and breathe in. Nice. Okay, so now you're going to extend both legs together. Push. Really activate those legs. Inhale, bring it back to center. So if that's too hard, you lift the legs up to sky, or you go back to one leg extensions, okay? So double leg push. Inhale, release. Exhale, extend, reach it away. Hold it, maintain it, pull the tummy in. Inhale. Now make sure your tummy's not bulging. Think about it compressing down towards the floor. Good. Breathing out. Extend. Have a little hold. Inhale. So again, super slow. We are not just repping out those leg extensions. We are extending, we're reaching, we're holding. Inhale, slowly bring it back in. Exhale. So we want to kind of work slower at this in these exercises, because it's all about the control, all about the stabilization, not so much about momentum. Good. 3 more. Pull it in, pull it in. Release. 2 more. You're doing so well, guys. Keep it going. Last one. You're going to push away and hold it. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your right leg towards your face. Lower your left leg down towards the floor. Bring your hands either side of that right knee and lift the head and shoulders off the floor. Okay, so what happens is if you're very tight in your hamstrings, you might have a bend in this knee. You're going to try your best to really extend this leg as much as you can. So use the thigh to help, okay? Switching the legs, scissor. Exhale, scissor. And again, breathe out. Breathe in to switch, breathe out to scissor. Good. Keep pushing those legs away. You're trying to get as much space between both legs as you can, but try not to use your hands to just jam this leg in towards your face. Keeping the head and shoulders up, using that core. Breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, guys. Hug the knees into your chest. Have a little moment here. Maybe pull the knees out to the side again, getting into your groin. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Lovely, guys. Okay, extending one last one on our back, and then we're going to change it up a little bit. So, lying down on our backs, legs are straight. So I'm going to give you an easier option, then I'm going to give you a harder option. So the easier option, hands behind your head. So you start on neutral and then we go through imprint. So you're going to go through imprint here, okay? And you're going to pull your right knee into your chest. Try not to get your heel down here. Be 90 degree, an active and flex foot, and you're trying to reach up and try and touch your right ankle, okay? Can you see my head? I thought my head was off the end. Okay, harder option. Arms behind you. Legs stay straight. Reach. Lower. Okay, so we're going to do 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2. Breathe out. Use the breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10, release. So remember that the modification, you're only coming to the tip of the shoulder blades, okay? The harder option, you're coming right onto your sit bones and then down, okay? Use the arms and legs as a scissor, or the leg and the body as a scissor, that will help you. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Come on, guys. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Release. Well done. Just rolling onto your right hand side for a moment. Reach the arms out in front of you. So you're lying in this kind of fetal position with the knees out in front. Head just hanging on the floor, just reaching that left arm up and over, and then stretching your left arm all the way over to the left if you can. Now just look at your knees. You're trying your best to keep your knees stacked on top of each other as you open that left arm. If you want to have a bend in that left elbow to increase it a little bit more, you can. Good. Inhale, slowly bring it back to center. We're going to go on to the other side. So lying on your left side, knees together, hips stacked. Open up this right arm. So again, you're trying to get the twist through the torso, not just opening up through the hips, right? So the knees and the hips stay still. You're just getting into that upper torso, thoracic spine, which tends to be very, very tight, right? Breathing in. Breathing out. Lovely. Slowly uncurl from there. Good. And then pushing yourself all the way up to seated. So feet in front of you, knees behind you. You're going to reach your arms out in front of you. Take an inhale here. Your spine is nice and long. You're going to initiate the movement from going into imprint. So you're going to tilt your pelvis, connect the rib cage down towards the hip bones. Now you're going to slowly roll it down. My face is in the sun. I don't know if you can even see me. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, scoot that tummy, pelvic floor lifts up. Now if you go here and you lift your arms up, you won't be able to maintain it. So don't roll back too far, okay? So you want to just roll back where you can maintain it to lift the arms up overhead without letting the rib cage pop and lose the C curve. Lower the arms. Lift the arms. So here we're just stabilizing. That core is working all the time. It's like an isometric hold to keep it all strong. Reach and lower. Reach and lower. Good. Keep going, guys. You've got 5 more. Reach and lower. Try and keep the feet on the floor. And lower. 4. And lift. 3. And lift. 2. Last one, guys. Lift and hold. Scoop. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Scoop all the way up to sitting. Okay. Couple more exercises, then we're going to do a bit of stretching, guys. Okay, so hands out in front of you. Tuck your tailbone, go into imprint, roll back just a little bit, not too much. If you're feeling okay here, keep the core on. Reach your right leg into tabletop.
Then, again, lift your left leg. Now, you mustn't let it go into your lower back here. So I want you to squeeze your TVA. Pull it in. Okay, breathing here, holding, scooping. If you're feeling strong, maybe start to extend those legs. Hold it. Breathe, guys. Activate those quads. Point the toes. This is a lot of quad hip flexor too. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees. Hold this. Breathing in again. Drop those shoulders. Squeezing the TVA in the belly button to spine. Keep holding. 3, 2, and 1. Release. So you can see sometimes it actually is more beneficial to have hold and these static holds and super slow rather than just doing like reps, too many reps, because it's a different type of strength, but it can really get you strong when you're holding. Okay, so we're going to take that exercise and make it a little bit harder. So again, core on. If you find this exercise too hard, then go back to the first one, okay? So reach the arms out. This is your first one, so you're just going to hold it here, okay? If you want to go to here, you can hold it here. Otherwise, we're going to hold. Now, you're going to bring your upper body back, lower body forward, okay?
And then we come into our low boat. And then we're going to squeeze our tummy, and we're going to use your core and your hip flexors
to bring your knees back up to that starting position, okay? So inhale, lower boat, lower back on the floor. Exhale, pull it in, hold, high boat. Inhale, hold. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You want to make it harder? You sweep your arms out to the side. Bring them in when you come to high.
Low,
High.
low,
High. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Good, guys. Cross your legs. So cross your legs and just come onto this sort of fire log pose. So flex your feet, and my hips are incredibly tight. So can you see my knees come down, up quite high? So if you're like me and you've got some blocks and you want to rest your blocks on pillows or blocks, then you can always put them under your knees. Otherwise, I'm going to use my glutes to actively push my knees down towards the floor. I'm going to take an inhale. And then exhale, I'm going to forward fold, trying to keep my spine as long as possible, reaching those fingertips out and then slowly lowering the head down. Trying to keep the sit bone down onto the floor and then actively push those knees down towards the floor. Breathing in. If you want to go a little bit deeper here, guys, you can always bring one leg on top of the thigh and then go down with one leg lifted. Good. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walk the hands all the way back. We're going to swap sides. So bring the right leg in front of the left. If you're going to bring it on top of the thigh, you can bring it on top of the thigh or just keep it in the fire log. Flex your feet. Be active in your stretching. Remember, core nice and strong. Squeeze your glutes to actively push the knees down towards the floor and then walk the hands out in front of you. Breathing in. And again, actively pushing your tailbone down onto the floor as you let the head, but try not to let the head sink too much. You're trying to keep your spine as straight as possible. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, guys. Slowly, slowly bring those legs back. I think you've got like a silhouette because the sun is like right in my face. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, guys, so you're going to bring your legs out in front of you. Now, I know some of you struggle with your groin and your hamstrings. So if you do, grab yourself some books or blocks quickly and sit on them, okay? So you're lifted and you're elevated on your hips, okay? So we're going to bring your left leg or left foot and we're going to bring it on the inside edge of your right quad, okay? And then you're going to twist your torso to face your right foot. Actively squeeze your glute to push that left knee down. And then find the length in your spine as you forward fold. Now, if this is first thing in the morning and some of us tend to be quite tight. Now, if you are feeling quite tight, then just come to here, right? I don't want you to compromise the spine because you've got tight hamstrings. So I want you to, I'm just going to close my curtain, guys, so you can see me. Hang on. Okay, is that better? I think that's better. Okay, now you can all see me rather than just a big beam of sun. Okay, so you're going to twist towards that right leg. You're going to lengthen your spine and then you're going to reach forward. If you're holding behind the knee, if you're holding behind the ankle, or if you can grab hold of the foot, that's fine. But I don't want this rounding through the spine. Can you see I'm trying to compress my tummy towards my thigh to try and keep my spine straight? Yeah? And then actively pushing that left knee down towards the floor. My right foot is flexed. And you should feel this lovely stretch down the left side body, the left QL, the quadratus laborum, which is down this left side. Good. And then, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you're going to hold onto the ankle with your right hand and just reach up and over. If you want to go even deeper, you bring your forearm to the floor and maybe grab hold of the foot and then look underneath your left elbow. But maybe it's too much this time in the morning. Breathing here. Good. Keep trying to open this chest up and actively push that left hip, left knee down. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. So there is a benefit to passive stretching, but here I'm trying to get you to be strong in your stretches, okay? So be active in it, like push one hip down. So you're trying to lengthen the muscles in two rather than just hanging out in a nice side bend stretch. You want to be like really strong in it, okay? Good, now release. Let's go on to the other side. So you're going to open your left leg out to the side, the right foot comes onto the inside edge of the left inner thigh, okay? So again, I'm going to use my glute to actively push this knee down towards the floor, and I'm going to keep it there. It wants to come up, but I'm not going to let it. Now I'm going to twist through the torso, reach up, find the length in your spine. Left leg is active, flexed foot, and then we're going to slowly forward fold. And again, this is just holding onto your knee, just hold onto your knee. If you can go a little bit deeper, ankle or foot, then you can, but again, trying to keep that spine as straight as you possibly can. So you're compressing your left sort of obliques down towards your left thigh. Breathing in. Breathing out. Nice, guys. Keep breathing. And then slowly you're coming over to the side bend stretch. Okay, if you want to go deeper, you grab hold of the foot and looking under the arm. Breathing here. So again, I'm really pushing that right hip down onto the floor. And then I'm trying to reach my upper body up and out of that right hip. Breathing in, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come out of these stretches. You don't want to rush. Good. And then I want you to bring your feet in front of you. So again, if you're still on your books, then stay on your books. Or if you've got yoga blocks, you can sit on your yoga blocks. So sitting on your blocks. Now what I want you to be really mindful of here is instead of just sinking and sitting on your bottom, I want you to sit on your legs, okay? So we need to tilt the pelvis, the opposite of imprint, so an anterior tilt of the pelvis, so that you can come and sit on the top of your thighs, right? And you can feel your core start to work. So think about pulling your tummy in, okay? So I'm just gonna go from this way as well. So you can see, so this is me sitting on my bum, yeah? Can you see what I'm doing with my spine? So sitting on the books is gonna help you. So I want you to find that anterior tilt of the pelvis. Now, can you see my spine is nice and straight? I'm going to really use my core, and then I'm just going to flex forward. I'm not holding on to anything yet. I'm just flexing forward. Now, draw your toes up toward your face. Pull your thighs, your kneecaps up your thighs. So really tense your quads and actively push your knees down into the floor. And then you're just going to try and reach that little bit further. I don't want you to hold on to anything at the moment because this is active stretching. I don't want you to just grab hold and then compromise through the spine. So you're trying to get low, low, low using the core. So pull your spine lower, and then you're reaching forward. So think about your nose coming towards the toes rather than just sinking your head down towards the knees. So reach it forward. Now, once you've got this really strong position, maybe you can drop the hands, hold onto the feet, and pull yourself just a little bit further into it, a little bit deeper into it. Good, keep holding. We're gonna go passive in a minute, but just keep holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now just find passive. Just sink, relax, breathe. And then slowly, 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 curling all the way up. So those active stretches are a really good way of increasing your hamstring flexibility. So try and bring that into your routines. Okay, so last little bit of hip flexors, because when we sit down all the time, we tend to get really tight hip flexors. And also if you're doing lots of running or biking, hip flexors tend to take a lot of the load. So I want you to bring your right foot forward in front of you. Now look at my hip. When we do a lot of yoga, we just tend to sort of push forward like this. So what I want you to do is try and keep this left hip stacked above the left knee, okay? So the right foot is in front, and then I want you to find imprint. So I want you to tilt that pelvis underneath you, and you squeeze your left bum. You can feel your left bum work. And then you're going to actively push your left knee down into the floor, okay? So you've already found quite a nice hip flexor stretch already. Now reach your right arm down to the right side, and then keep lifting up, but keep pushing down at the same time. So you're always kind of pulling the muscles in two. So left knee pulls down, left arm reaches up and over. Now squeeze your left bum, keep your core connected, and you're just getting this lovely side bend stretch from your left knee all the way up and over to the left hand. Breathing here. Keep tucking that tailbone, keep squeezing your left glute, and keep drawing the tummy in. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release that. Good. And again, if you can, you're going to squeeze your left heel up towards your bum. So tummy on, squeezing. So active flexibility. Those hamstrings might start to cramp. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Once you've found the active, maybe then grab hold of the heel and then squeeze the heel up towards the bum. But try not to sink too far forward. Try and keep the hip over the knee, and then tuck the tailbone, actively pushing that left knee down into the floor, but squeezing your left bum. Breathing in for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release it and let go. Lovely. We're going to swap sides. So right knee comes down, left foot forward. I'm going to come and face you for this one. So, okay, so left foot forward, right knee underneath right hip. Okay, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your core. You should get this lovely stretch through the hip flexor. Hip flexor attaches to the inner thigh, comes all the way to the lower back. Okay, so it's a really long muscle and it gets super tight. Okay, so tuck that tailbone, actively push your right knee down into the floor. Drive the left fingertips down towards the floor and then reach up and over. Now, don't just sink in it. I want to reach. So reaching this right arm up as you actively push your right knee down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Keep holding it here, guys. Keep squeezing that right bum, but keeping the core on. You're doing so well. We're nearly done. Stay with me. 3, and 2, and 1. Slowly bring it back. Lovely. Now you're going to squeeze that heel up towards your bottom. Now flex your foot and squeeze your heel to your bum. Your hamstrings are likely to start cramping because they like, what's going on? I haven't had this done to me before. That's normal, but really try and keep practicing it and then it will go away. And then grab hold of the heel and then squeeze again, actively pushing your knee down into the floor, squeezing your bum forward and breathing in. Good. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, guys. Just come down to kneeling and then swivel your feet round. Reach your legs out in front of you, and we're going to reach the arms up and we're going to forward fold again. So forward fold, but this time just passive. Just let the head hang heavy between the legs. Just breathe here deeply. So think about inhaling for 4 counts and then exhaling for 4 counts. Inhale for 4 and out for 4. Let any tension go. Maybe just turn your head from side to side. And then slowly stacking that spine back up to sitting. Just dropping the right ear down towards the right shoulder, but pulling those shoulders down at the same time. Inhale slowly back to center, and then exhale, dropping the left to left. Back to center, good. Bring the hands down behind your hips. Drag the heels in front of your hips and then come up into your squat. Bring your hands together. And thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, you know where I am. Just let me know. Hopefully that was nice and chilled for you, but your core also got a good wake-up call this morning. So just remember to bring in that core activation as much as you can throughout your daily activities, not when you're just doing exercise. So like when you're sitting in the car, think about engaging your tummy in and just, focus on it all the time. So if you're gardening or picking up the shopping, engage that TVA, pull it in. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for all your lovely messages. Thank you, Louisa. Thank you, Melissa, Matthew. Well done, guys. All of you for coming. Katie, thank you so much. I really hope you like the stretching as well. That was just a little bit at the end. My kind of favorite ones are always hamstrings and hip flexors, which get super tight. But any questions, let me know. I think I'll see you in a few weeks. And yeah, see you soon, guys. Bye. Have a lovely day.